This video is with regard to the Environmental Approval System OneStop, and the purpose of the video is to take a look at the quick reference guides. This video will focus on the Initiate New Water Act Application Flood Control Quick Reference Guide. To find the quick reference guides on the Environmental Approval System OneStop page, click on the following link and it will take you to an outline associated with the guides. It will outline the application purposes, example activities, and quick reference guides. In the case of the flood control purpose, berms, pipeline armoring, channel realignment, and erosion control is listed within this application purpose. To complete the application, you would review the General Application Quick Reference Guide and the Flood Control Quick Reference Guide. In a previous video, we looked at the General Application Guide, and in this video, we're going to look at the Flood Control Guide. You may also need to look at the Import Digital Spatial Data into OneStop Quick Reference Guide, which references how to upload your own spatial data file from GIS. How to access the system is covered in the Environmental Approval System OneStop Getting Started instructional video, as well as how to create an account, and in the following text in the application page, how to access EAS OneStop, and then how to log in to EAS OneStop. So if you click on the following link, it will open up the following web page. If you're logging into My Alberta Digital ID, click on the following. If you're logging into My Alberta Digital ID for Business, click on the following link. Today, we'll be working in the user acceptance testing site. So please don't submit any applications to this site, as it won't be reviewed for an official authorization. We're in the application portion for a flood control application. We've entered in all the general information and the authorization information up to the water body, which is covered in the Initiate New Water Act Application General Application Guide. Noting that we have two water bodies listed here under the flood control application. For this particular application type, if we clicked on Next, we would end up with the following error. In order to submit additional information for flood control, you must first submit only one water body. So we're going to go back to the previous page. We're going to check off one of the water bodies, and we're going to delete that row. When we click on Next, it will take us to the additional information, which is covered in the Initiate New Water Act Application Flood Control Quick Reference Guide. We will create a shapefile. If you have your own shapefile to submit, then take a look at the Import Spatial Data into OneStop Quick Reference Guide, which will outline the columns, attributes, and formats that you require associated with the files, including the file names. In this case, we're going to take a look at create a shapefile through the shapefile builder. This will open up a map, and we will be able to create a polygon for the flood control project. Noting that this zooms to the land locations, or just a land location depending, that we had previously selected under the general application portion of this file. Note that the export name will be shapefile for each shapefile that is created within the system. So you may need to change the name of the file, because the system will only accept one application or one file name, and it has to be a unique file name. So you can name it whatever you'd like, but I'm naming it my standard naming convention. I'm going to click on Draw on Map, or Draw Polygon on Map, and to start, just click once. To change direction, click once again, each time you want to change direction. To complete the polygon, double click. If you see this window, click on No. You may add another flood control shapefile to this project. It will name it Flood Control 1, 2, 3, etc. In this case, we're only going to generate one polygon. Noting that I'm working in Google Chrome, you can download this file and it will download directly to your downloads folder. If you're working in Internet Explorer, please open up this link to the file and copy this link to the file, because it will save it to a temporary folder each time with regard to Internet Explorer. I'm going to close the shapefile builder. I'm going to go back to the application and I'm going to attach the document. I'm going to submit the shapefile. The previous shapefile that was created under the general application portion is found that the water body was mapped, so it has automatically selected yes. Please review the tooltip associated with review management area maps. This is in reference to application information that will be required listed below. If we review the management area map, we end up looking at maps, management area maps, and in this case, this project is located in the Medicine Hat management area map. This project is located on a tributary to Pekauke Lake. And as you can see, all of the water bodies are blue. If the water body is coded a different color, pay attention to the color of the water body, as well as the class and restricted activity period, because those questions will be asked within the mapping application. Please also note that the water body may be a different class if it's blue, if it is tributary to a classified water body, which you may want to review in the codes of practice. In this case, I'm going to click low class D, low sensitivity. Is there a restricted activity period? If there was, we'd click on yes and we'd enter in the dates, noting that you don't need to worry about the year, just the months and the day that the information that was supplied on that map. You may take a look at the tooltip associated with this too as well. Does the proposed activity impact a lake? If we clicked on yes, is the lake a fish-bearing water body? In this case, it's not on Pekauke Lake, so I'm going to click on no. Will the proposed work have the potential to impact the aquatic environment? Please review the definition of the aquatic environment that comes directly out of the Water Act. And if you are working in or near the aquatic environment, then you may need to consult a qualified aquatic environmental specialist to take a look at how the project should be conducted and the mitigation measures that may be required associated with this project. The qualified aquatic environmental specialist or yourself may review the Fisheries and Wildlife Management Information System to gain further information associated with the aquatic environment. If we click on this link, it'll take us to the Access FWMS site, and you can take a look at the quick reference guide as well as the mapping tool associated with it. Here's the flood control one that was produced by the shapefile that we did. We now need to enter in the length of the project, the type of project. In this case, I'm choosing erosion control, and the hardening bed and or bank. Will engineered drawings be provided with the report? So the following questions are prompting you for information associated with this application. We click on yes, then we're going to attach the report, the drawings. If we click on no, then we're going to provide a rationale associated with not using an engineer to create the drawings with or of the proposed project. Next, I will attach the drawings, and I will outline the professional that has provided the drawings to us and their designation. Will the proposed activity have an impact on the water body upstream or downstream or adjacent to the proposed activity? This question is prompting you to determine whether that will be the case or not. The same goes with the landowner. Is it going to be impacting a landowner? Is there potential for erosion or siltation during the proposed activity? If you're doing excavation, clicking on yes. Are there permanent mitigation measures proposed for the potential impacts? And have the proposed permanent mitigation measures been identified within the report? So if it's been identified in a report that you've already submitted, then you don't need to submit it. If it hasn't been, then you would click on no and you'd attach that detail. Now we can save the application and click on next. If there were any validations, there would be a listing of them here, and then you could click on view associated with them. We covered this in the initiate New Water Act application, general application video and guide associated with looking at validations within an application. Take a look at the disclaimer. It outlines our online system. It outlines the collection of personal information under the Freedom of Information and Protection of Privacy Act, and the request for confidentiality under the Water Ministerial Regulation, which you'd have to provide with this application. So if you haven't supplied any information or you have any questions associated with this, then click on I disagree. Once you click on agree, you may save and submit the application. Once you save and submit the application, there isn't the ability to withdraw the application. So once it is saved, it is locked. All of the data, all of the files that you've submitted is locked, and you won't be able to change any of that information. So the applications are saved for up to a year, and you can change and modify that application up to that time frame. But as soon as you save and submit it to the department, that information is locked, and if we have to change anything associated with the application, you'll be requested to withdraw the application. We can go through and do supplemental information requests to update report information, but anything that is associated with questions or tables that are in the application are locked down and cannot be changed. You will receive your application number here, as well as the application number is listed here to the left. Once you click on OK, it brings you back to your home page, and then you'll be able to see the application listed here. You'll be able to see the status, the application type, when it was created, and then as soon as the application is forwarded to a lead reviewer, that lead reviewer will be displayed here along with the email address associated with them. You can take a look at your application again. You can look at it and go click on view. If it was still in draft format, then you could take a look at the application and modify the application. If any supplemental information requests do come in, they are located here, and an email will also be sent to you associated with supplemental information requests that the department would send you. Any resulting authorization of the document would be located here. If you have any questions associated with this application video associated with the quick reference guide or the system itself, you can go to our contact information on our Environmental Approval System OneStop webpage, and you can send us an email. So for technical support, for business support, if you have questions with regard to the Act, if you have questions with regard to a lead reviewer not being assigned as of yet, multitude of things, you can send it to the support email address. For any assistance associated with an account to access the system, that is managed by Service Alberta, and you may contact them at the following email address or the following phone number. I thank you very much, and I hope you're having a good day.